So since I'm making this video, I'll break down some of the items that I have and the reason that I have them. When I first started doing this, I was trying to get a whole bunch of Arcanite for my Lionheart's helm. It's basically when the Chronos 3 first came out. And I didn't have a lot of good items. I only had I had the basic pre-raid best in slot you could get for a Molten Core. So I was missing quite a few items that I have right now. And understand that when I first started doing these, it was taking me about 17 minutes, sometimes 19 to do. So this run is significantly faster than the last ones, but in order to make your runs a little smoother, there's a couple items you can get that will make it much easier. If you notice, this item, Stronghold Gauntlets, immune to disarm. The first Water Elemental boss spams a disarming ability, and the boss that we're about to go against also does a disarm. And if you're constantly being disarmed throughout the fight, that's a lot of damage you're missing out on. So if you are trying to get any type of the items that I have here, I would strongly recommend starting off with the Stronghold Gauntlets or some sort of alternative so you're not being disarmed all the time. Right here, I'm about to show you a method that we kind of came up on our own. It's a little bit better. Most people tend to go for the pillar. I prefer this method I'm about to show you. So basically, you got your back facing this little notch right here. Put yourself on walk and back up. When you land on this rock, you still get the same effect of the mobs not targeting you, at least the healer. So the little mobs will reset whenever the healer gets threat. And since he's on the rock, I can benefit from his aura. So all around, I prefer the rock method versus the pillar. And I'll show you how I tank it. So if you notice there, the tanking strategy I use, I have myself backed up against there because the dog likes to do a knockback ability. And if you're one of the people that would hang up here on the ledge, if you did the knockback, sometimes it could reset the boss, and you don't want that. I also prefer having the healer right on the rock there so I can benefit from his aura. We're running this one pretty quick. I'm at about 10 minutes and 12 seconds, so this is a fairly fast run. There's nothing super crazy about my build either. It's just a standard Fury DPS spec. I'll show you the rest that I got just in case you have any other questions. Very generic build. Almost every Fury Warrior DPS has this one. If you notice, before the first boss, I ended up generating a bunch of rage on that little mob, and it's super helpful so you can build up Sunders and quick. Same thing with the second boss. I like to do that. So other than that, you just got the rundown on how to do the runs. And for that second boss, the one who I was doing the line of sight method on, it's a fairly simple breakdown. The first cast he does is always going to be a shadow dot. So I tend to have my pally or whoever's with me as a healer give me shadow protection in some form. And the second cast he does is always going to be the sacrifice. So it's especially important when you do the first pull. There's about a 3 to 4 second gap between his first and his second cast. So it's important to get him right in the corner there. And when he is about to cast the second one, you move quickly around the corner to line of sight him and interrupt his cast. And then it's just a matter of resetting him. Whenever I feel like he's about to do the second cast, I don't do any special abilities. I really try and focus on making sure I move quickly, because it is so hard to do. Even as good as I am now, I still only get it about 70% of the time, and I still sometimes end up getting sacrificed. So you really have to be on the ball with that and make sure you move. Other than that, the third boss isn't too bad. You either got a tree form or a wolf form, and you just run right through. And with these runs, between me and my healer, we vendor on average about 40 gold's worth of stuff. It could be better if one of us was an enchanter. I understand that, but we're not. And he's a really good healer, so I just go with him anyways. It's really good money too. You can get Ace of Elementals off the first boss. You can also get the book for Quell Sarar. I've gotten that to drop a couple times. There's even herbs in here. Like if we had an herbalist run through here, you got 2 Grom's Blood nodes, 1 Ghost Mushroom, and 1 Dream Foil. So ideally, if you want to really optimize this, you get yourself an herbalist, an enchanter, and 1 miner, and you can really make some money out of this place. I think on average, in 5 runs, I make about 80 to I'd say close to 100 gold in an hour. Between selling the thorium, dentstone, arcane crystals that drop, and everything else that I sell. So I hope you enjoyed the video.